Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this special edition of the SuperBlog Versus. Now you may be wondering, dear readers and viewers and listeners, why I'm doing this. Why I'm taping this in advance. I want to make sure I get this out because I want to just give some backstory. I am old enough. As you all know, I'm a wrestling fan. No bones about that. But what you may not realize is that I'm actually old enough to remember the first episode of Raw, and you probably have seen it on WWE Vault or WWE on YouTube. But the one thing I want to explain is that this is a massive, massive, massive deal. Like, I myself have been enjoying the return to 2 hours on Raw on USA. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's going to be the case, but I think that but suffice it to say, Raw on Netflix is a major, major, major deal. So much so that they've stacked the card up with, at this point, 4 matches on the card. Now, I want to be clear on one thing, alright, viewers and viewers? If there are any other matches that are on the card as of 9/14 on January 4th, 2025, I have no idea what they're going to be. We're all going to find out together. But I want to just reiterate just how big of a deal this is. When it comes to Raw, I remember being in so many of Raw's greatest moments. I remember being in Madison Square Garden, thanks to my older brother, who I owe a lot to. I remember being in Madison Square Garden for the first time when Raw was in Madison Square Garden, where Vince McMahon got stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin. I remember being at the MVP Arena, which is where the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame is, by the way, where Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned Mr. McMahon again after WrestleMania 14. So I've seen the bad of Raw, and I've seen the best of Raw. So this is going to be something for the ages, and I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. I really am. Will I be happy to see it revert back to 3 hours? Not really, but it is what it is. There's no way of denying that. But back to the matches. The description. I'm going to be using the link that I'm going to share in the description below. And again, I have no idea if there are any other matches going on. I have absolutely no idea what the card's going to look like. So I have absolutely no idea what's going to go on other than the 4 matches that we see right now. And this is such a stacked card that I have no idea where to go for when it comes to the main event. But I'm going to say, let's start with Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Because I feel that that's some of these 4 that I'm seeing right now, that seems to be the one that doesn't have a lot on the line. We'll get into the others in a minute. But I feel like Drew McIntyre is going to lose this one to Jey Uso, because he's so short-sighted when it comes to anything else. He can't see anything but Jey Uso, and that's going to cost him. So I'm going to say Jey Uso is going to win this thing. And then we're going to get to Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. This one's going to be good, just because the build-up of this. But here's what I'm predicting, just on the merits. I feel like Rhea Ripley's going to win the match for the Women's World Championship, only to have Charlotte Flair come in and make her return to WWE, and that would settle Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the Royal Rumble, possibly. So I'm just throwing it out there. And then we have CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. This is one of those things where I'm happy that I do these videos like after SmackDown. My way of knowing what's going to happen, what won't. But this one, I was able to see I'm these guys were throwing bombs. They were. I mean, if I were Adam Pearce, I'd just say make it a no DQ match. I mean, this one's gonna be that big. This one's gonna be that intense. This is gonna be great to see. Um, but I will say this: I do see Seth freaking Rollins winning this thing. I mean, possibly turning heel. I don't know. So I'm just throwing it out there. So I'm gonna go with Seth freaking Rollins for this one, and then I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, tribal combat for the Ulafala and recognition as the tribal chief of the Ananoy family. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. I feel like this one has a lot of build-up to it. I feel like this one has a lot of references to it. I feel like Roman Reigns is going to win this one, but it won't be easy. I feel like that's going to be the interesting situation. I feel like Solo Sikoa is going to be is good, but I will say this. I mean, if you want to leave the fans home happy, give them Roman Reigns in winning the tribal combat match, because for me, that would here's what I'll predict just on my own. I'll say Roman Reigns wins with assistance from The Rock, but then The Rock turns on Roman Reigns after the match is done, and that's the kickoff for WrestleMania 41. That at least that's how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. I may change, so I'll go Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, and Seth freaking Rollins to win this thing. Again, if I have any idea, I have absolutely no idea what the matches are going to be outside of these four. So that's going to settle it for the Raw premiere on Netflix. I'll be watching, and I'm sure all of you are too. It's going to be a real test for me, I think, just to see how Netflix does with Raw, or how Raw does with Netflix. I'm expecting banging numbers. So if you like these videos, do readers and viewers and listeners, please check me out here on the Autistic Super Channel on YouTube. You can check me out on Tumblr, Blue Sky, X, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And you can check out all my videos on the AutisticSuperBlog.wordpress.com. Until next post, to readers and viewers and listeners, stay safe, stay strong, stay raw, and as always, shine on.